I knew he was a dog from the first workouts. I could definitely tell that he was trying to compete every rep. He wants to get better every day. We clicked early and worked together on our own time. Matt DeBerry, who was that talking about who?
Zachariah Branch talking about Gunnar Stockton. And I might quickly throw this to Ryan because Ryan wrote a great story over on Dawg Post that y'all can read over on the website talking about all these players, how much they have bought into Gunnar Stockton. And while everyone loves the backup quarterback, and, I'm very high on Ryan Puglisi as well, but if you talk to people within the program and just listen to people talk about Gunnar, whether it's the coaches or his teammates, there is a lot of love for Gunnar Stockton. And Zachariah Branch is saying, hey, we immediately clicked. This guy's a competitor, whether, what type of, drill workout we're doing. Gunnar Stockton is trying to beat everyone. So it was clear early on to this big time playmaker that he's trying to build a great chemistry with Gunnar Stockton. And the guy is impressive. There's no doubt about it. And he's already winning over a lot of his teammates, Ryan.
Real quick, you can read that by scanning the QR code. I've also got a link down below. Ryan, take it from there.
Yeah, and I think it's also important to note Zachariah Branch's first college quarterback was Caleb Williams over at USC. We're talking about one of the highest ranked prospects on the NFL level that people have ever seen, and was the first overall pick. So, I mean, he knows what real talent is, but he's talking about the work ethic of Gunnar Stockton. But I think that they've always loved Gunnar, and I think that he kind of had them won over before that SEC championship game. Really, they immediately trusted him, and they knew, hey, look, this is a backup quarterback that's coming in there. We have to support him. They gave him that support, and he helped them win that football game, and he helped completely change the momentum of that football game where Georgia couldn't do anything on offense. It was a good Texas defense, but they just couldn't get anything going. And Zachariah Branch talked about that too, how he watched. That's when he really first kind of realized it, that when Gunnar Stockton went in there during that Texas game, and he watched that and he said, oh, okay, this guy really competes. So that continued in New Orleans when we were at the media day and we're talking to everybody. What's everyone talking about? They're talking about how much they trust Gunnar Stockton and how much they care about him. And we're at Pro Day a couple weeks ago, Dean, when Gunnar walks up to it's all tense in there. It's so quiet and it's tense, and you can almost like cut that with scissors through the air. And Dominic Lovett and Arian Smith, they just light up when Gunnar walks up. And he didn't, he threw them a ton of practice, but that's not who their quarterback was the last few years. It was Carson Beck, but Gunnar walks up to them and their mood completely changes. They're just happy to see him and happy to get to work with him. And whether he's the most talented quarterback on Georgia or in the SEC or what, that takes you pretty far as well. And so I do think that there is a portion of the fan base that's doubting Gunnar. There's a portion of me that's not sure how good Gunnar is going to be. You've got to take into account how much they care and love and trust him.
I want to tell you about trustdice.co. You can see on the screen right now some college football lines we've already got out. Let's see, champions, NFL, NHL. Here's the NBA for today. It's a really neat service that they've got. We're going to be responsible with any wagers that we make. Major League Baseball. Let's see if the Braves are on here. Of course the Braves are on here. Check them out today, trustdice.co. Happy to have them on board, and we'll see more from them soon. The link is down below. What I would say about all this is this. First of all, I don't think he's without talent. I just think he's not as talented a thrower as Puglisi or Carson. I don't think he's without talent, but I think that when you don't have the highest ceiling, all this other stuff we're talking about, it better be good. Well, yeah, it's really good with this guy getting his head severed at the SEC championship game, Matt. I mean, if you're and then pops up like nothing happened, this guy looks like a zombie out there. I seriously thought it was very, very, very hurt. He got rocked. I do not use those images, to be honest with you. I'm not comfortable with them. But I don't like to use them, I should say. But it can't. Okay, so it can be two things. I'm saying this cannot just be cupcakes, rainbows, and unicorns about this guy. He's got to also go out there and do it. And the problem with that is we've only had 6 real quarters of him doing it, so to speak. And I would say that, like in New Orleans, Matt, the offensive line just didn't play well, and that affects a quarterback no matter what. I'll before I throw it to you too. Nobody. I was talking to Ryan. I think it was Ryan about this. if you're asking your quarterback to throw it 40 times in a game, you're in trouble no matter what, probably.
Yeah, he didn't get help from the offensive line. He didn't get help from the receivers. There was no run game. And I still came away from that Sugar Bowl, and I got a different angle of the game watching it way up high in Mercedes-Benz Stadium down in New Orleans. I thought some of those throws were great. The deep ball to Dylan Bell that hit him right in the hands, that was a big-time throw. The one he hit Arian Smith down the field was a perfect throw. The ball does zip out of his hands, but I do agree. I don't know if he still has the arm talent overall that Puglisi might have him behind him or Carson Beck in front of him. I do know that the kid can run. He can pick up tough yards, and he's going to keep winning over the fans and his teammates with every big run that he has. And I expect him to make a lot of big runs this year. But I do think it's up to the coaches to put him in a position to where he uses his legs, which is a strength of his. We've all seen him multiple times. He can get those tough yards, and I think he's going to be great around the goal line. And if one of the best safeties in college football didn't crush him right at the goal line, he was going to take off and win the game.
Oh, you think he would have scored on that run?
I think 90% of safeties don't make that tackle on him, and he, powers his way through and scores the winning touchdown. That kid can play.
The most impressive part of that, Ryan, was when he became a zombie, he didn't fumble the foot. I don't know how he didn't fumble that ball.
No, I mean, from my angle and watching it the way that I saw it, it's like looking at it through a telescope almost. I jumped up. I was like, whoa. And everyone around is like, it just got quiet. I thought that something bad really happened. He just got right up, stumbled a little bit, right? He kind of took a little bit of his footing. It took him a second to get that, but yeah, no. Andrew Makuba was one of the hardest hitting safeties in college football.
How was that not
year,
targeting? How was that not targeting? Okay, two things.
I don't know.
Okay, so the kid from Maryland walked. That is a walk. I don't want to hear about gathering. He took 3 steps. Stop. And how was that not targeting? Like, I'm confused. I don't understand the rule.
I don't know how it wasn't targeting. It wasn't an NBA walk.
It was not an NBA walk.
Basketball.
No, but that's the difference. You can do a lot in the NBA, but honestly in the NBA, I'm not sure that wasn't a walk, but it would never gotten called. He did not gather that ball. He took 3 steps. That was a very difficult shot. Going to your left like that and shooting with your right hand, that's a very, very hard ball. That was a walk. How is that not targeting?
Yeah, I don't know how that wasn't targeting, and that was why he had to go out because they said Gunner's fine, and that's why he had to sit out the play.
But if
it wasn't called targeting.
More to that point, y'all, if he fumbles that ball, they lose. Go ahead, Matt. You're muted.
Oh, I didn't know if I'm muted.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You talk about toughness.
Yeah.
I don't want to, hate on Carson Beck's toughness or anything. I do think he brought a level of toughness, but he ain't Gunner Stockton in that scenario. And I think, that part of his game is what Georgia fans are excited about too. And the swagger that he brings. I remember in high school, he's just spinning around guys. He's, going into the end zone backwards, spiking the ball. I mean, I thought he had that like Johnny Manziel factor to him. I mean, he is fun to watch. And I think, again, it's up to Mike Bobo and the staff to put him in a position to make those types of plays.
One last thing here on this, to be frank, you had him playing, y'all, against the second best team in the country, if you want to call Notre Dame that, and I don't know, the third best team in Texas. So boom, right out of the gate, there's no confusion, Ryan. Can this guy handle the moment or not? Yeah, he's cool on that front. He's not played on the road yet, but I don't know. I mean, I want to see guys, and G-Day, matters to me. I want to see guys just go play quarterback. This guy can play quarterback, but I want to see it and just like, oh, there he is. Okay, and there he is. Like, we don't need to see deep balls. We don't need to see getting heads knocked off. Just basic, 7, 10 yard, 17 yard plays. That's it.
He's not going to get touched at G-Day.
That's true.
Look, all these traits that we're talking about, those all, even if we don't think he has the most talented arm on the team, all of those traits trump that. The toughness, the composure, the accuracy, the decision-making, the leadership, all of those things are what they're looking for, not just at the quarterback, but pretty much in all the positions. But those are the things that'll matter more than and he does have a talented arm. He can still spin it. I mean, it's not like it's not. And it was the same thing with Stetson Bennett, right? These things kind of all these traits and were similar with Stetson, and the team rallied behind that. I think that matters more than a lot of things.
Real quick,
go ahead, Matt.
When was the last team, and I'll do this quickly, Dean, when was the last team that won the national championship with the most talented quarterback? Do you have to go to 19 LSU, maybe 20 Alabama? You can win a national title without this elite best quarterback in the country.
Burrow and Trevor and Deshaun, maybe.
Yeah, at the time, probably Watson in 16, 19 for sure with Joe Burrow. I don't know if you want to say that about Tua or not in 18. But, well, they didn't win in 18 with Trevor. But, yeah, typically you don't win it with the most talented guy. That's just all there is to it. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.